Hello again, and welcome back. Thank you for subscribing and watching. I appreciate the followers and the views and the subscribing. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. So, today I want to discuss another step in attracting that soulmate. So, a lot of us have been, if we are divorced or been single for a really long time at an older age, some of us, watching, maybe younger, we tend to be very codependent, or at least dependent on having someone there, right? If you've been married a long time or in a long-term relationship, you're used to having that other human with you all the time. You're used to having that partner by your side. You're used to having probably the same hobbies, the same interests, the same schedules. Maybe even, you have kids together or whatever. And once that person's gone, initially it feels like half of you is gone. That's how it was for me. It felt like something was missing in my life. Something was missing in my life. But it feels like part of you is gone. It feels like kind of like death. And it can be compared to that as far as the pain, right? So, one thing that's super important, along with loving yourself and healing old wounds, is learning to live life without a partner and on your own, which comes with self love, right? But learning to date yourself. And I'm sure all of you here, I've heard it forever, but I'm telling you right now that I've lived all of this. I've done this, which is why I like to share with everyone else and help those get through this, because it isn't easy. And it's really difficult if you've never been through this and you don't have any guide, any map on what do I do now? How am I going to navigate this new way of living? Which, might I say, is pretty flippin' exciting if you can get to that point of feeling that way, right? It is learning a new you, learning new hobbies, learning new things that make you smile, learning new things about yourself, period. I didn't really read much when I was married, and I read all the time now. I've gathered new ideas for my life, for life goals, who I want in a partner, and hobbies that I enjoy that I didn't have when I was married. So, one thing is learning to date yourself, to go places alone, to enjoy your hobbies alone, to put yourself out there as this amazing human being that has got this on their own. We don't need someone to hold our hand through life. Is it easier? Absolutely. Is it enjoyable? It can definitely be. Most of us are seeking that partner, right? Most of us don't like being alone. I know for a lot of singles, sleeping alone initially is super difficult. I myself haven't really had a problem with that. I'm pretty good at that. I like to sleep in the middle of the bed, and I like enjoying sleep by myself. So I haven't had as hard of a time with that, but I've heard that a lot from my friends. Sleeping alone at first. Going to family gatherings was extremely painful. That was one thing that I had the hardest time with as far as social aspects. I would avoid them. I didn't go to family events. I didn't go to family parties. Holidays were the worst. I hated holidays. In my family, I'm the only one that's been divorced. I'm the only single child. My parents are married, so I'm the only single one in my family. And at first, I hated it, right? It hurt. You're looking around and you've got siblings who are married and have been for a long time. And, they have their children and it's all just one family. And it feels like a failure. It feels like a black sheep and like an outcast. It really does. But let's flip that. Let's flip it the other way. So now I go to family functions all the time and I thoroughly enjoy them. But now I see it as, look at me, I am the queen of what I've created. And I'm bringing it to the table in front of everyone and showing them, like, look what I've done. I'm doing it all on my own. And I love it. And I love myself and what I've created, you know, with my family, with my children and grandchildren. Like, I'm so proud of myself that I've done this alone. And I just enjoy being around my family. And, you know, family picture time, I'm like, yeah, this is me and my kids. And look at this lovely, wonderful life that I have. And being around family and they've got their spouses, and I stand proud alone. There is nothing that makes me feel sad about it anymore. We are different. We have different lives. They have their good days and bad days. I have my good days and bad days. It's just different. And I just love it now. But I will tell you that it took me learning to live by myself. It took me learning to be good alone. You know, you're married for a long time and have children, and your house is always chaotic, and you've got that partner there all the time, and you've got kids all the time, and it's just, you're used to just noise and chaos and busy life, and a partner to help you, which I must say is the hardest part. Having someone to help you when you fall, to catch you, if you will, to help with the stress of finances, to help with the stress of kids, holidays, family, all of the things that can bring stress in our life. And then all of a sudden it's all you. And you're looking around and you're having a bad day and you're stressed about how you're going to pay for this for your children and what you're going to do about a new job, you know, or your life goals. They obviously change once you're single, right? There's no more we, it's me. And I will tell you that that me is capital M-E. Now, it is I, it is me. And while I would love and will have a partner one day to share that with, it will still always be me, my goals, sharing it as a we. But it does take getting used to, right? It takes that. Being brave, being a brave soul. Going to a restaurant the first time alone was a little awkward. And I remember when I started doing it a few times, and I do remember one time I was dating someone and he was newly single, you know, and he asked, you know, where can I meet you? And I said, well, I'm eating dinner at this restaurant. You can meet me there. And he was like, who are you with? Me? You go to a restaurant by yourself? Yes, I do. That's weird, he said. No, it's amazing. It is so amazing. You want to go on a date and you don't have one, you date yourself. And you get to do whatever you want. You get to eat wherever you want. You get to go wherever you want. You can spend what you want. It's all you. And it sounds so lonely until you get into it and start doing it. And then it is just purely amazing. It's so freeing. So that's one thing that I did. I would go to a bar alone, sit at the bar, have a drink, and enjoy music by myself because that's something I love to do. I love live music. And there's no shame. I didn't feel like a loser. I didn't feel any shame. I didn't feel like I'm so lonely, so alone. I felt like this is awesome. Like no one's here to bother me and tell me like, let's go. I can leave when I want. Really? It is awesome. I promise you, if you can get to that place, you will just be loving life. And you will get to that place. It happens actually once you set your mind to it and you start doing your work, it happens a lot sooner than you think. And again, it's just an amazing feeling. Loving yourself, healing old wounds, and learning to be alone. And once you can learn to be alone and someone comes into your life, it's pretty amazing. There's no need for that. There's a want. There's no need. We don't need anyone to complete us. We want. And you will also attract someone who is in the same space. They don't need you, they want. And if you can just be that person that you want, you will find that person that wants you and doesn't need. And there's such a big difference in that. And there's such a freeing feeling with that. And if you date, which you should, and it doesn't work out, which there will be times it doesn't, that's what dating is, it won't be as traumatic. Before my healing journey, I dated. I got right back out there and dated. I had no business doing that, by the way. And I remember feeling like I always needed someone. And once I got past that and I started healing, I was like, dang, girl, you were super needy. How did those guys even deal with you? Sending them texts every 2 minutes and making them go everywhere with you because you couldn't go alone. Like, ew. Yeah, and I attracted the same. And I also went through a lot of short-term relationships, and they did end, and it was okay because that taught me exactly what I want. So, again, it's been so amazing since I have discovered that I can do this by myself. Life is amazing. Enjoy it. Enjoy it alone. It truly is. I watch movies by myself, go to the movies alone if I want, go for canyon drives constantly alone. I thoroughly enjoy that. Walks alone. I just love it. And you will find that you will meet people that are so amazing in the same space. So amazing. That are just fine being alone, but yet seeking that person. And you may have a ton in common and just gain new friends that are in the same space. And it's such an amazing feeling, I promise you. And I promise you it will help you attract that long-term that you're looking for, that next true love. So go out and try it, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you for joining again. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow.